Look at a map, and you'll find a country with a landmass smaller than the state of Goa. Yet, the technology born within its borders controls the digital infrastructure of global banks, smartphones, and governments. Today, this tiny strip of land has more companies listed on the NASDAQ than almost any country outside the US and China. A NASDAQ is an American stock exchange that focuses on global technology and growth companies. The people living here now have a higher per capita income than those in the United Kingdom. This level of wealth exists without the traditional foundations of global power. There are no massive oil reserves hidden underground. There are no sprawling, fertile river valleys. Israel achieved its status without the natural resources that historically make a nation rich. This country acts as an invisible engine behind modern global infrastructure. To understand how it bypassed standard economic logic, we have to look at the vacuum it was born into. In 1948, the very day after Israel declared its independence, 5 neighboring nations declared war. The new state faced an immediate threat to its survival. The country began with no established industry and no technology. The geography was mostly hostile desert, and the population was rapidly swelling with refugees who arrived with zero capital. This scarcity was met with an attitude called Chutzpah, a Hebrew term for bold, audacious ambition. This cultural drive for rapid problem-solving replaced traditional economic assets. Israel's superpower status grew directly out of its lack of resources. Its rise was a result of being forced to engineer solutions where nothing existed. The first hurdle was the security problem. In its early years, Western arms embargoes blocked the country from buying the weapons it needed for defense. Without external suppliers, the nation was forced to build its own localized defense industry. They began manufacturing their own fighter jets, tanks, and missile systems from scratch. This pressure created a unique institutional pipeline. The most capable recruits in the mandatory military service are funneled into an elite technology division known as Unit 8200. In Unit 8200, young 20-year-old recruits are tasked with cracking complex enemy codes and building advanced digital surveillance architecture. When these soldiers finish their service, they take this state-funded training into the private sector. They utilize their high-pressure experience to found billion-dollar civilian cybersecurity and tech firms. The necessity of surviving a war created a highly effective government-funded incubator for tech entrepreneurs. By the 1990s, the nation faced the capital problem. It had a surplus of brilliant engineers, but lacked the domestic financial money required to scale their startups globally. To solve this, the government created Yozma, offering to match foreign venture capital invested into domestic startups. This de-risked the market for investors. Billions flooded in, causing venture capital investment per capita to skyrocket past the United States. This tech boom was the result of institutional financial design that turned a country smaller than Mumbai into a global leader in venture capital. Then there was the geographic problem. The nation's main freshwater lake was drying up, and the scorching desert made traditional farming impossible. The solution was drip irrigation, a system that bypasses water waste by delivering droplets directly to a plant's roots. They also built massive desalination plants. Desalination is the industrial process of removing salt and minerals from seawater to create drinking water. This technology now provides over 90% of the nation's drinking supply. The country took an existential threat, the lack of water, and engineered it into an agricultural technology sector that they now export to the rest of the world. Engineers originally tasked with building weapons ended up building tech giants. Farmers struggling against drought created agritech empires. This influence is visible in India's strategic operations. India relies on Israeli innovation for its defense systems and utilizes Israeli-developed technology within its own tech centers. These innovations are actively helping Indian farmers grow more food with drastically less water. In states like Maharashtra, farmers are using Israeli drip irrigation technology to protect their harvests from drought. Anyone interacting with the modern global economy is likely relying on Israeli engineering, whether through the chips in their phone or the crops in their fields. Israel's trajectory suggests that sustainable wealth can be engineered in the minds of a population even when the ground beneath them is dry. The nation took its specific vulnerabilities, isolation, barren land, and security threats, and institutionalized them into global industries. Geographical constraints and a lack of resources do not have to limit a nation's future. If engineered correctly, those limitations can become a nation's defining competitive advantage.